Today we're doing things a little differently. We're going to tell you what we know. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the most sacred high holiday in the Jewish calendar. Instead of work or school, thousands of British Jews today attended synagogues across the country. It's a day when many who don't regularly attend services do so. They intended to spend the day in continuous prayer, reflecting on the past year. At Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in Crumpsall, Manchester, a morning prayer service began at 9 a.m. At 9:31, police were called to the place of worship. They were responding to a member of the public who said he'd witnessed a car being driven towards people and that one man had been stabbed. Images emerged online showing the bomb disposal unit at the scene and an image of the suspect. Bald head, beard, dark clothes, white objects around his waist. Police say the suspect had suspicious items on his person. 7 minutes later, shots were fired by Greater Manchester Police. The suspected attacker was shot dead. At 9:41, paramedics tended to members of the public with injuries caused by both the vehicle and stab wounds. In the hours following, 2 were confirmed dead and 3 were in a serious condition. On Twitter, the Prime Minister wrote, "I'm appalled by the attack at a synagogue in Crumpsall. The fact that this has taken place on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, makes it all the more horrific. My thoughts are with the loved ones of all those affected, and my thanks go to the emergency services and all the first responders." Then he flew back from the European political community gathering he'd been attending in Copenhagen to chair a meeting of the government's Emergency Cobra Committee in London. This is the committee of senior ministers and officials that coordinate the emergency responses to a crisis. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood, alongside Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who declared the serious incident live on BBC Radio Manchester this morning, and senior police officers are expected to attend alongside the Prime Minister. As he flew back, Starmer confirmed that additional police assets were being deployed to synagogues across the country. Here's what he said.
The attack in Manchester this morning is absolutely shocking, and all of our thoughts are with those affected. I'm on my way back to London. When I arrive, I will chair an emergency Cobra meeting. I'm already able to say that additional police assets are being deployed to synagogues across the country, and we will do everything to keep our Jewish community safe. I've spoken to Mark Gardner of the CST and Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, and I want to thank the emergency services for the speed of their response.
One of those injured was a security guard. Across Europe, synagogues are under constant protection from police or volunteers. Numerous high-profile attacks on synagogues have occurred across the continent. In 2015, a volunteer guard outside Copenhagen's main synagogue was shot dead. In 2017, a large gang threw firebombs at a synagogue in Gothenburg. In the UK, Jewish charity, the Community Security Trust, which monitors anti-Semitism and provides security for the Jewish community, said anti-Semitic incidents had trebled in the UK in the year following October 7th. In February 2024, then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak allocated a record total of £72 million to Jewish schools, synagogues, and other community centres to help them increase security. In April that year, a 19-year-old neo-Nazi from Brighton was convicted of terrorism offences for planning to attack a synagogue. Crumpsall is a multicultural area of northern Manchester, a place where, for decades, a significant population of Christians, Jews and Muslims have lived side by side in relative peace. Here's local MP Graham Stringer.
Like everybody else, I am appalled. I'm particularly upset. I mean, I would be upset at an attack like this wherever it happened in the country, but I happen to know this synagogue. I live round the corner, a stone's throw away from it for most of my adult life. And I've been in there to do hustings in general elections, been to services, been to talk to the community about current affairs. So I know people in the congregation there by first name, not by no means, not all of them, but some of them. So it's particularly upsetting. And listening to your previous speaker, there has been a definite increase in attacks on Jewish people. I think the Community Security Trust estimates it's a 400% increase. That shouldn't distort the fact that actually, for the vast majority of people in the Jewish community, the Muslim community, the other communities, there is a real level of tolerance and a determination to get along with each other.
Leader of the Greens, Zach Polanski, grew up in North Manchester, where he attended Synagogue. Here's what he told PoliticsJOE.
Sometimes as a politician, you try and find different words to express what everyone's feeling, and other times I think it's just important to say the basics, which is this is a horrific attack. I grew up in North Manchester, a synagogue very close to this one. I went to school very close to this one. So I'm really feeling the personal effects of that too, and the fear that my friends and family will have in that area. I think it's just important that we wait until we have the full details. But more widely, there's a conversation here to have about community cohesion, and some of the work I'm proudest of as a politician is where I've worked with the Muslim community, and we've seen that interfaith work that goes on right across this country. And I think it's a moment for those communities to come together, because we know that an attack on one minority community is an attack on all of us, and we've got to show solidarity to each other.
As we record this podcast, police declare this morning's events a terrorist incident. They believe they know the suspect's identity. On Yom Kippur, some Jews do not access social media or television. Many won't find out about the attack until nightfall. The timing chosen, it seems, to maximise hurt and distress in the community. Jewish group Namad told us, "In moments like this, it's vital that our communities, Jewish and non-Jewish alike, hold one another close. Our safety and liberation depend on solidarity between all those who are marginalised and targeted, and we must not allow those who seek to divide us to succeed. Every person deserves to live, gather, and worship in safety and dignity. We condemn this act of violence unequivocally and restate our commitment to building a world where this kind of horror is no longer possible."
Thanks to Tide and their instant savings account for sponsoring this week's podcast.
New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.